Are we over smoothies yet? Well, personally, I'm not, but I'm hoping that you're not over the idea of making smoothies, because here's one of the reasons that I've come back to smoothies. And I say I've come back to them because for ages I did cold pressed juice, and I love cold pressed juice. Can you see that I'm fence sitting right now? I do love cold pressed juice, but there's so much waste. I mean, I've got chickens and ducks, so it's cool because they consume whatever, excess comes out of the juicer. But that's all the fibre. Like, that's all the really good stuff that you're kind of feeding to the ducks. So then I flipped back to making smoothies, and most recently, because the nettles are out, I've been really grateful that I did that, because now I'm putting nettles in my smoothies. Stinging nettle smoothie. Huh? Okay, let's do some selling on that one. So stinging nettles are profoundly good for you, and I think that a lot of people understand that if you've ever had stinging nettle tea, for example. So super high in oxidants, just amazing for the micro minerals like boron, which, where else do you get that? I mean, it's one of those things that has been a part of our culture for hundreds and hundreds of years, and there's good reason for it, because it's unbelievably good for you. The sting in a stinging nettle is actually a protein bond. And what happens is, as soon as you either blanch that, it'll just disintegrate. I kind of think of it like cellophane, It sticks together and it can hold, but then as soon as you add water, ugh. So that's the same concept with the sting in a stinging nettle. But I pop them in the Vitamix and there's no sting left in that little nettle because it's pureed to within an inch of its life. So nettles do need to be approached with care, because it's not life-threatening, but it's really annoying for the rest of the day if you happen to, rub your hand up against it or give yourself a bit of a sting. When I was a kid, I got these terribly mixed up with mint, and I love mint. And I ran down and I put my face into this whole patch of nettles just as my dad was going, "Dah!" It was like one of those slow motion films. The pain was real. So yeah, I tend to pick them with a tea towel or gloves. Anyway, we're gonna put those in. This is one of those smoothies that just has everything. Stinging nettles, because we can, chia seed, and chaga, because I'm having a love affair with that at the moment. So I've taken some notes on chia and chaga. Let me tell you what they're good for. Obviously not memory. Chia, so more antioxidants than blueberries. How's that? How's that? More antioxidants than blueberries. Those tiny little seeds. 15 times the magnesium of broccoli. 3 times the iron of spinach. Come on. Did you even know that there was iron in those? I mean, there's a load of iron in all of this, and vitamin C, which you need to have together for the uptake. 6 times the calcium of dairy milk. Bingo. I never have that anyway, so here we go. And more potassium than bananas. And we have a banana too, just to cover ourselves. Then the chaga. We were talking about this, and if you want to know about chaga, you can go ahead and watch our hot chocolate episode, loaded hot chocolate, where we put mushroom, because that's what chaga is, we put mushroom into hot chocolate. So why the heck wouldn't I put it into a smoothie as well? They have, chaga mushrooms, have the highest antioxidant of any superfood. I mean, I could just sit here and say nothing else now, and then you'd all be rushing out to find chaga. Where do you get it, by the way? Okay, online, I think, is probably the best option. You want to make sure that it's been grown organically. I'm not sure that you could do anything to chaga that would require a pesticide or herbicide. Don't see why you'd do that. But anyway, you want to make sure that where they're grown, there's not spray going on around them, because they take everything in. As an adaptogen, they help us to deal with stress. That's the simplest way that you can understand adaptogens. So you want to add those into your diet because they work differently with every individual body. And that's another cool aspect. So whatever your personal requirements are, chaga knows all about you when it gets there. on the inside. Okay, so chaga, chia, nettle, kapow, we're already in crazy nutrient territory. Banana, because they taste good and make things a little bit sweet. I always put oranges in so that we've got vitamin C content and juiciness. Parsley, because that should be in everything as well. I mean, you've got iron and vitamin C and all of the antioxidants that we're talking about. And kale. I mean, really, what dish do we make without kale? I haven't done ice cream yet, but I can probably work on that. And water. Okay, so all of this goes in. This is my everyday smoothie. So it's not like it's going to be the prettiest thing in the world. All right, oranges, pop those guys in there. So pretty much the only waste that is coming out of this is the banana peel and the orange peel. That's it. As opposed to if we were juicing this, you've seen it, you know, you put everything in and you feel really amazing about it, but then you see all of the waste that comes out and you think, yeah, maybe that fibre would be better in me rather than on the outside. 2 tablespoons of chia. I don't pre-crush these because obviously they're going in the Vitamix. But to really get the maximum benefit out of chia, you want to grind it. So if you're not about to Vitamix it and you want to use it in maybe as an egg replacer, make sure that you grind it. If you want to know about chia as an egg replacer, there's an episode about that too. Chaga, I'm doing a tablespoon at the moment. What you might want to think about if you've never had chaga mushroom before is to slowly build up to it. Just do it in increments because it's a really powerful herbal medicine. So let your body get used to it, and I mean, you're just going to love that because it changes everything. Okay, and then nettles. Now, I'm going to be with gentle hands, or mostly with my fingernails, getting these off. You don't need to have much more than like 1 nettle like this. And if you love nettles, I'm guessing you're a good gardener because you'll know about the benefits of them as far as your garden is concerned. Didn't get stung once. Brilliant. Okay, and then water. I try not to make these too chunky because I make a whole one of these and then put whatever's left over in a jar for the next morning so that I'm not actually doing this every day. And then when I walk the dogs and I get home and I'm, you know, thinking, oh, now I've got to do this next thing, I can at least grab that jar out of the fridge and be sipping on that. The thing about chia is, and you probably know this if you've used it, it has that mucilage aspect, so it gels everything. And when you leave this overnight, it'll kind of turn your smoothie into something of a soup. But that's all right, because if you add extra water at the start, or sometimes I'll just throw a little bit of extra water into the jar the next day, give it a shake and good to go. Right, blitz time. You know, I used to actually hide green stuff in under, you know, something like chocolate, for example. But now I use the green stuff to hide the other things I'm putting in a smoothie, like mushroom. That's an amazing colour though, isn't it? So that's a nice consistency, but remember that if you're going to save some of this, tomorrow that chia will thicken it up. So you either put more water in it now or you do it tomorrow. Are you waiting to see if I like asphyxiate on the stinging nettle sting? You don't. Oh, it's really good. Well, I think so, but I like green things. Yum. I mean, loaded, just loaded. And that's not a difficult way to eat breakfast, I don't think, especially if you can make some ahead of time and then have a jar to kind of pull out tomorrow. If you've been doing the smoothie thing, let me know what your favourite combination is, because I'm absolutely always looking for other ways to do smoothies, because, you know, we all fall into our little patterns of behaviour and then go, oh, I'm sick of drinking this same thing, which is why I'm glad nettles are in season. But yeah, let me know how you're going with smoothies, and if you've done the nettle thing yet.